In order to extract clues from Harry Ho's girlfriend, Alex Chow resorted to drastic measures. However, due to his own special identity, he hired Yellow Hair sidekick and others to intervene. Carrying Alex Chow and others, the police car sped down the highway. Inside the car, everyone was discussing. Harry Ho's girlfriend indeed lied to us, even though they were in contact after the incident. I heard that Noah G has some influence in both the underworld and official circles. His tea restaurant must have some helpers. We have questioned him before, and he insisted he had no connection with Harry Ho. If we visit him today, and he still doesn't confess, what should we do? As they spoke, everyone turned their gaze to Alex Chow. Alex Chow just coldly interjected, "Who among you brought a gun?" Nobody moved. Police are handling the case. Alex Chow and the others burst into the tea restaurant. At this time, there are about a dozen or 20 people in the tea restaurant. The person sitting in the main seat is none other than Noah G. Noah said, "I have been dominating the Jianhu for so many years, and I have yet to leave any evidence in the hands of the police." He crosses his legs arrogantly and says disdainfully, "Even your leaders have to be cautious of me. A few small police officers still want to do something to me." Alex Chow is suppressing the anger in his heart with all his might. He continued saying, "What's wrong, officer? What's the matter?" Alex Chow rushed forward with a single stride. Without saying a word, Alex directly swung a punch at his face. The punch was powerful. Noah fell backwards onto the ground instantly. Noah said, "You've got a lot of nerve." Alex Chow pinned him down with one foot and asked, "Where is Harry Ho?" Noah seemed to understand something. He widened his eyes and said, "I've told you before, I don't know." Before he could finish speaking, Alex Chow slapped him in the face. Noah's men were stunned as they watched their leader being hit. They started to crack their knuckles, ready to step forward. Alex Chow gestured to his colleague behind him. The colleague understood his intention. Immediately raised the pistol up high. He fired a shot into the air. A huge gunshot sound instantly frightened everyone. No one dared to act rashly again. He said he was capturing the murderer who killed the chief of the detective team. Anyone speaking will be shot on sight for obstructing official duties. Hearing that the police have such a strong background, the hired thugs dare not speak recklessly. No one knows if this Noah really killed someone. In case he really killed someone, then wouldn't they all become accomplices? Alex Chow lifted his foot. Alex said, "Noah G, you are a smart person. Without orders from above, would a few of us junior officers come to you to ask for someone?" Alex then prepared to break his leg. "Since you don't know how to show respect, you might as well be disabled for the rest of your life." Noah G got scared and quickly begged for mercy. "Officer, listen to me. Believe me, I don't know where Harry Ho went, but I can help you investigate." Alex Chow suddenly became violent. He kicked down. Noah G shouted, "Don't!" But it was already too late. With a crisp sound of bones breaking, his lower leg snapped entirely. However, Alex Chow had no intention of stopping. Lifted his foot again, ready to step again. Noah G completely collapsed. He cried out in despair that he was at the warehouse on the nth floor. The police officer shouted on the phone, "Captain, the warehouse on the nth floor needs reinforcement. Harry Ho is likely here." Several people quickly arrived at Harry Ho's hiding place. Colleagues were looking at the map on their phones. They said to Alex, "The warehouse on the nth floor is very large. We don't know in which specific room Harry Ho is hiding. We only have 3 people. Should we split up to search or wait for reinforcement?" Alex Chow was very decisive. "We can't wait. If the news leaks out, we won't be able to catch him." The colleagues replied, "Let's continue searching according to Alex's plan." As they spoke, they took out their phones to look for any clues on the map. At that moment, they heard some movement behind them. Turned their heads to look. He saw Harry Ho. Harry Ho reacted by running off. The three people chased after him and shouted as they ran, "Don't run! Police!" After hearing this, Harry Ho ran even faster. He ran into a warehouse. It was pitch black inside the warehouse. The headlights suddenly turned on. The light was incredibly bright, making the eyes of the three people blink for a moment. When they could finally see things clearly, they were surprised to find that the huge warehouse was filled with bunk beds. At this moment, there were more than 40 people sitting, lying down, or standing on the beds. All of them were young men. Alex Xiao cursed under his breath. "It's over, we've arrived at their headquarters." Harry Ho was seen standing in the crowd, saying to the remaining people, "Stop them! They are the police." Everyone picked up their weapons and were about to move forward. The three police officers were not to be trifled with either. They showed no fear at all, clenching their fists tightly. One for one. Alex Xiao strikes with both fists. In the crisis, Alex Xiao shouted loudly, "Go find Harry Ho first!" A colleague responded, and then ran towards the escape direction of Harry Ho. The other colleague was pinned down by the bald guy, gasping angrily with a roar. Everyone has gone crazy. Meanwhile, Alex Xiao is also in danger. Outnumbered and unable to defend oneself, being tightly grabbed and restrained from behind. Alex Xiao pushed back with force towards the iron bed behind. That person then loosened their grip. He had just dealt with one when Green Hair Psychic struck him on the head with a stick. Alex Xiao's forehead was cut open with a long bloody gash. Alex Xiao's eyes were burning with rage, and his eyeballs were bloodshot. Green Hair Psychic still stood there arrogantly provoking. Unaware of the danger he was in, just as he hesitated for a moment, Alex Xiao swiftly snatched the half-stick from his hand. Then, in front of everyone's shocked gazes, Alex Xiao plunged the stick into the shoulder of Green Hair Psychic. Blood spurted out. A wail of agony echoed throughout the entire warehouse. Pay attention. Look at this unmanned motorcycle. It can even drift. Just now, the half-stick was inserted into the Green Hair Psychic's shoulder. It hurt him so much that he screamed in agony. Everyone gasped in shock. He's gone mad. He's killed someone. There's also a fearless long-hair psychic behind him. He's wielding a big cleaver and planning to launch a surprise attack. Alex Xiao used force to pull out the half of a stick from the shoulder of the Green-hair psychic. He turned his hand and inserted it into the body of the long-hair psychic. Long-hair psychic screamed in pain and fell to the ground. Alex Xiao bent down and picked up long-hair psychic. He also picked up the large machete that had fallen to the ground, preparing to go on a killing spree. The crowd was once again shocked and pale. These psychics were not just ordinary henchmen. Upon seeing the horrific scene before them, their faces turned pale with fear. They all dropped their weapons one after another, clearing a way for Alex Xiao. Alex Xiao swaggered out with a big machete in hand. After mingling with colleagues, continued to search for Harry Ho. A colleague said Harry Ho just went that way. There are no cars nearby, so he can't have gone far. At this time, Alex Xiao noticed a motorcycle beside him. He thought to himself, "I have a universal lock opener. There is no need to wait any longer." He hopped on the motorcycle and sped away. Suddenly, he heard a loud noise. On this silent night, the sound was especially loud. It was a gunshot. Alex Xiao revved the engine and chased after the direction of the gunshot. As he turned into an alley, he suddenly saw a familiar figure. It was a colleague standing in place, holding his leg. Alex Xiao approached and asked, "What happened? Where is Harry Ho?" Recognizing Alex Xiao, the colleague handed him the gun and said, "Hurry, Harry Ho is just ahead." "That guy has a replica gun. He shot me in the leg. Be careful. Don't let him escape." Alex Xiao took the gun. Then step on the gas pedal all the way and chase after him. Harry Ho is running with heavy breathing. He's already running out of energy. He looked back and saw a motorcycle chasing after him. Harry Ho shouted in shock. He turned around and fired a shot behind him. Unfortunately, the lights were too bright. When he aimed to see clearly, something unexpected happened that he couldn't have imagined. Harry Ho was surprised to see that the only thing chasing him was a motorcycle, with no one on it. Harry Ho was quite frightened. Watching the motorcycle rushing towards him, Harry Ho was powerless to fight back. Only to see the motorcycle spin around, knocking Harry Ho to the ground. Harry Ho felt dizzy, and his back was in excruciating pain. However, something even more eerie happened. A metal bucket floated up into the air. Harry Ho screamed in fright. Ghost! Just as Harry Ho was feeling bewildered. The metal bucket crashed down, directly smashing the man's head, causing blood to flow profusely from his throat. After just a few seconds, then I saw a person. It was like a magic trick, appearing out of thin air in front of me, holding a gun, pointed at myself. At this moment, the request system prompts that the time limit has expired. The invisibility cloak trial usage count has been reduced by 1. Within the R Bureau, Alex Zhao, who is sweating profusely, says in pain, Nikki, please be more gentle. As he spoke, he clenched Nikki Wang's clothing tightly, while still gripping his hand in pain. I am a living person, not a corpse. Nikki Wang was using force while speaking gently. It won't work. Without applying some force, how can it be sewn up? Now Alex Zhao grabbed even tighter. This young man is quite fortunate. Restless hands wandering around with nowhere to place them. Nikki Wang continues to sew the needle for him. She said, you should still go to the hospital for a comprehensive examination. Alex Zhao shook his head, indicating that he was fine. At this moment, he noticed Cindy Peng beside him, who looked nervous and was staring at him intently. He asked, Cindy, why have you been following me? Cindy Peng looked serious and said, I have to keep an eye on you so you don't cause trouble for me again. As she finished speaking, a group of people arrived, and Alex Zhao turned to look. It turned out to be the detectives from Team B. After these people came in, they walked up to Alex Zhao and gave him a respectful salute. I represent all the members of our Group B. On behalf of our leader Penny, we thank you for risking your life to catch the culprit. Several people were unable to speak after saying this, holding back tears. Alex Zhao smiled bitterly and said, Don't say that. She is also my friend. Alex Zhao, Cindy Peng suddenly exclaimed. The director wants to see you. In the director's office, Alex Zhao roared. Why was I suspended from my position? The director said to Alex, You have abused your power, hired people to beat up a suspect's girlfriend, obstructed law enforcement officers, and even broke the leg of the tea restaurant boss. There are 12 severely injured people in the warehouse. 5 of them are in the hospital, and 1 person is still in intensive care. Look at what you have done. Do you still have the demeanor of a police officer? Alex Zhao retorted, Director, there were over 40 of them while we were just a few. They were trying to kill us last night. We were just acting in self-defense. The director slammed the table and said sternly, Using strong words to cover up the truth. We are police officers. We must consider the consequences of our actions. We cannot act recklessly. Alex Zhao quickly retorted. Before Penny was killed, investigate the murder case again. Her death is very likely related to the murder case. At the scene where she was killed, there is only a video of Harry Ho leaving, but none of his arrival. There was no murder weapon on Harry Ho's hands, yet the murder weapon appeared in a trash can 1 kilometer away. This indicates that he has an accomplice. Behind Harry Ho, there may be another mastermind. This mastermind has a clear understanding of Penny Chu's every move. He is definitely not an ordinary person. He may be from within our police department. I must investigate this case. The chief stood up and roared. Alex Zhao, when handling a case, one must rely on evidence. Do you know that the indictment against you is already on its way? If you hadn't caught Harry Ho, you would have been taken to prison by the police a long time ago. I've been reprimanded by higher-ups several times because of this. By not firing you, I've already done everything I could to help." In an instant, Alex Zhao was furious, unable to control himself any longer. He lifted his foot and kicked the chief's desk. He said, "If you don't let me investigate, I'm done." After speaking, he gestured a middle finger at the chief. In a dream, the figure of Penny Chu appeared, and he asked, "Penny Chu, what are you doing here?" She is still the same as before, wearing a police uniform. She raised her glass and drank on her own. She said, "Otherwise, where else could I be?" Alex Zhao was stunned. Penny Chu continued speaking. "Who knows? Maybe you really want to have this post-case meal with me." Alex Zhao lowered his head. "I'm sorry. If it wasn't for me asking you to investigate the murder case involving Chandler Chung, you wouldn't have faced retaliation." She said, "How did you know it was because of the murder case?" Alex Zhao's eyes were determined. "I will definitely catch the person who killed you. No matter how many there are, I will root them all out." Penny Chu looked at Alex Zhao. "I trust you." Just 3 simple words. Enough to make this passionate young man cry and wet his pillow. He has made up his mind. He must avenge Penny Chu. Today is the memorial service for team leader Penny Chu. It is arranged to be held at the funeral parlor. After the memorial service, the body will be cremated. As the team leader of the Criminal Investigation Unit, Penny Chu's memorial service is naturally of great scale and very solemn. Not only colleagues and leaders from the branch are present, but also many important officials from the city. The atmosphere inside the funeral parlor is solemn and dignified. Everyone attending is filled with sorrow and sadness. Alex Zhao was near the Ling Shu and happened to overhear Penny Chu's daughter speaking. The child's tender voice asked, "Daddy, why hasn't Mommy woken up yet? Please call her to play with me." At that moment, Alex Zhao felt very sad, and it seemed like even the corners of his eyes turned red. He also thought of Penny Chu in his mind, remembering her looks and laughter when she was alive, and her dedication to solving cases. Alex Zhao silently repeated in his heart, "Safe travels. Please don't worry. Whatever methods it takes, I must hurry back to the police station. Investigate the murder case. No matter what the truth of your murder is, I will never give up." At this moment, his phone suddenly rang. The phone displayed an unfamiliar number. He answered it. The person on the phone didn't greet him. He directly spoke to Alex Zhao in a commanding tone and said, "Alex Zhao, there's a car at 11 o'clock direction for you. You're the only one. Come over quickly." At the memorial service, he received a mysterious phone call. Who exactly was it? Alex Zhao walked to the front of the car with doubts in his mind. As soon as he approached, the car door opened. Director Liam got out of the car. Alex asked the chief, "Do you have any instructions?" Director Liam didn't reply. He just walked straight to the back seat. Alex Zhao couldn't help but comment, "What's going on? It's like meeting a spy." Director Liam opened the car door. In the car, there was a surprising appearance. It was Captain Bucky Jean, who was on sick leave. Alex Zhao widened his eyes and said, "Captain Jean, how come it's you?" Captain Jean roared, "Kid, what are you staring at? Help me get out. Take me to give flowers to Penny Chu." Alex Zhao lifted Captain Jean onto the wheelchair. He didn't understand what had happened to Captain Jean, who had been missing for so long. Just as he was about to voice his question, Captain Jean spoke up. "How did Penny Chu die?" Just as he was about to voice his question, Captain Jean spoke up. "How did Penny Chu die?" Discovered that Captain Jin's shoe had unexpectedly fallen to the ground. Alex Zhao stopped the wheelchair and bent down to pick it up. Helped the elderly person put on the shoe again. But he hadn't walked more than a few steps. He angrily found out that the shoe was actually flung off by himself. "Can't your legs move? Just told me to look up, didn't you?" At this moment, Captain Jean became anxious. He yelled loudly, "Alex Xiao, help me put them on! Hurry up!" Alex Xiao felt frustrated, but faced with the elderly person sitting in a wheelchair. Where can I muster the strength to do that? He could only angrily put on his shoes for him. At that moment, when he lowered his head, Captain Jean suddenly threw the flowers in his hand on Alex Xiao's head. Alex Xiao couldn't help it anymore. Unexpectedly, Captain Jean pushed him back. He was to return to the car. Alex Xiao was puzzled, but he didn't dare to ask. After pushing him back into the car, Director Liam took Alex Xiao into the nearby small forest, took out an old-fashioned notebook, handed it to Alex Xiao. Captain Jean said, "If he is alone on the return car, this notebook will be cremated with him. If you push him back, this notebook will be given to you." Alex Xiao asked, "What's wrong with him? What is this notebook?" "Osteosarcoma. Both legs amputated. Can live for another 4 months. He doesn't want to trouble anymore." Alex was stunned. He didn't expect Captain Jean to have such a serious illness. Director Liam continued, "Do you know about the tragic case of the Mountain H massacre? It is documented in the files as one of the 5 national-level major cases, all solved by Captain Jean. He couldn't solve the unsolved cases he was personally involved in back then. He believes that you are his successor. He sees his younger self in you." Director Liam turned to Alex Xiao and smiled, saying, "How does it feel, kid? Do you feel the weight on your shoulders?" Alex Xiao raised his mouth. "You old seniors want to lead me by the nose, making me work my heart out for you." Director Liam reached out his hand and said, "If you don't want to take it, you can give the script back to me." Alex Xiao straightened his back and tucked the script into his inner pocket. "I, Alex Xiao, am a detective who is jealous of evil and supports justice. How can we let a murderer roam free?" So he was entrusted by Captain Jean. "But I have been suspended now. Can't do anything. Can you help me get reinstated?" Director Liam asked seriously. "Where is the document for your suspension?" Without even having the document, it doesn't really count as a suspension. The director just wanted to give you a lesson. Do you know how many bullets he has taken for you? If it wasn't for him insisting on defending you, you would have been in jail by now. That Noah G is still after you. Lately, he has been using all kinds of connections, trying to get you into jail." Alex Xiao gritted his teeth and said firmly, "Bastard. Let me handle this arrogant guy today." Director Liam was shocked. He quickly advised, "We are on the edge now. Don't stir up trouble." Alex Xiao waved his hand. "Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. He will surely withdraw the lawsuit obediently. After I finish these 2 big tasks, I will fulfill the old man's wish. Another beauty has arrived. Guess who it is? I will tell you in a while." Inside tea restaurant that day, Alex Xiao sat firmly in the Grandmaster's chair. He was playing with a box of exquisite tea leaves in his hand. He asked, "Noah, are these tea leaves expensive? I want to buy a box to present to our director. Do you think it's a good idea?" Noah G fiercely slammed his cane and gritted his teeth, saying, "Alex, you're quite brave to come here on your own." Alex Xiao kept playing with the tea leaves. "I'm here to make friends and turn hostility into friendship. How about I treat you to a meal?" Noah G clenched his cane tightly and said fiercely, "Let me break your legs now. If you kneel down and apologize to me, I will consider it." Alex Xiao slammed the tea box onto the table and said fiercely, "There's no room for negotiation." After saying that, Noah G clearly felt a wave of hostility. He unconsciously took a few steps back. Just then, Noah G's phone rang. After answering it, his face changed instantly. It turned out someone informed him that the wholesale stall was checked by the police. They claimed illegal items were found in the fish. The psychic beside him also exclaimed, "The boss's nightclub has been sealed off by the police. They said it was harboring criminals." Noah G quickly broke out in a sweat on his head. He glared fiercely at Alex Xiao and said, Don't think I'll be afraid of you just because of this. I have plenty of money and don't care about these few shops. Alex Xiao stood up and walked to Noah G, poking his forehead. He said, "You better be honest. Otherwise, you will have to bear the consequences." After saying that, he swaggered away with the box of tea leaves. Noah G looked puzzled. "Has he gone crazy?" a psychic reminded. "The boss paid over 1,000 for that box of tea leaves." The tea restaurant was suddenly filled with curses. That evening, Noah G had dinner at a restaurant. The phone suddenly rang. After answering it, Alex Xiao's voice came through. Alex reminded Noah, "Don't forget that you are my subordinate." Noah G is furious when he hears Alex Xiao's voice. He says, "Alex, you wait and see how I will deal with you for stealing my tea leaves." Alex replies, "Don't think you are so high class. There are 2 men and 1 woman in front of you. They are all dressed as VIPs. Noah G quickly looked around. In his heart, he wondered, why is he monitoring me? He couldn't figure it out no matter how hard he tried. Alex Xiao had planted an invisible monitor on his forehead. Alex said, "Don't bother looking, it's on you. The one in the checkered shirt must be the judge. The woman with glasses looks familiar. She's from the police academy. The man with the stubble is a lawyer." Noah G was shocked and started sweating profusely. He stood up and left the room. He ran into the restroom. Completely stripped, Alex Xiao continued speaking. "Noah wouldn't strip completely to look for the monitor, would he? Your skin is quite fair. There is a birthmark near your belly button." Noah G is going crazy. He shouted, "Shut up!" Suddenly, he thought it was his phone that exposed him. Then he turned off the phone. Noah finally felt a sense of quiet. He returned home after dinner. A woman leaned seductively against the doorway and asked him, "You're back?" She approached and charmingly said, "You know to come back so late." Suddenly, the woman's phone rang. After answering the call, she threw it to Noah G. Alex Xiao's voice came again. He said, "You think it's fine if you turn off your phone? Your wife looks good." Noah G completely broke down. He fiercely threw the phone to the ground. In the director's office, Alex Xiao pushed the tea in front of Director Zhou and said, "I misunderstood you before. I broke your cup. This is compensation for you. Now Noah G has withdrawn the complaint against me. Can I come back to work now?" Director Zhou looked helpless. "Why are you always so confident and arrogant?" Alex Xiao stood up straight. Seriously said, "I, Alex Xiao, will correct my mistakes. I will be grateful and remember your kindness." Director Zhou quickly waved his hand and said, "Don't give me this. The new team leader from the Serious Crime Unit has arrived. You should get to know each other." At that moment, a knocking sound was heard. Alex Xiao turned his head in confusion and asked, "Who is it in the end?" A policewoman in a neat uniform walked in briskly. She saluted smartly and said, "Officer Ellen reporting for duty." Alex Xiao was shocked with his jaw dropping to the side. The 2 happy enemies started pinching each other as soon as they met. Because the chief is present, the 2 could only exchange electric sparks with their eyes. Team leader Ellen has come to our office to take over as the leader of Team B. Director Zhou's voice broke the awkward silence. Busy introducing Alex Xiao to Ellen for acquaintance. "Make sure you 2 cooperate well in the future." Alex Xiao politely reached out his hand. "Nice to meet you, nice to meet you." Ellen, though unhappy in her heart, abided by etiquette. She still gently shook hands with Alex Xiao. Director Zhou said, "Alex Xiao, take team leader Ellen to the Serious Cases Division and introduce her to everyone." After coming out, Ellen didn't say a word and left in a hurry, wanting to shake off Alex Xiao. This jinx. Alex Xiao followed behind with a smug look on his face. He didn't expect Ellen to become his boss. Everything feels less real to him. How about putting a hidden camera on her as well? See where she lives. Does she have a boyfriend? After a few seconds of distraction, he caught up with her. he asked Ellen how she was doing as the captain of the U-Sub Bureau. Why did you come to our branch to be a team leader? Did you cause trouble over there? Hearing what Alex Zhao said, Ellen just wanted to cover her ears. Thinking about him forcibly kissing her made her both embarrassed and angry. Ellen felt that Alex forcibly kissing her was very rude. However, Alex shamelessly asked, "Could it be that you came over for me?" Ellen's face instantly turned bright red. She stopped in her tracks, picked up her leg, and kicked towards Alex Zhao. Alex Zhao looked at the danger in front of him. It was a familiar feeling. Colleagues in the office are discussing the case. There was only a loud bang. The two of them peeked out upon hearing the noise. Only saw Alex Zhao being kicked by a woman. He curled up pitifully under the woman's legs. Seeing the colleagues who were watching, Alex Zhao pointed awkwardly at his head and said, "This is the new team leader of Group B. Let's all get to know each other." Alex Zhao arrived at the detention center of the R branch. He was ready to interrogate Harry Ho. If Chandler Chung doesn't lead anywhere, I can only start with Penny Chu's case. Alex Zhao thought to himself. This time, I'll use a lie detector during the interrogation. At this time, he heard the staff notify him. Harry Ho is being interrogated by colleagues from the R Bureau. The interrogation application form prominently displays the name Ellen. It seems they have connected the dots again. After interrogating Harry Ho, Ellen walked out of the interrogation room. Alex asked, "You haven't had lunch, have you? I've ordered takeout. Let's eat together." Alex Zhao was seen holding a pizza and bringing it towards his mouth. Ellen glared fiercely at him and said, "You're following me." She said that and turned around to leave. Alex Zhao stopped her and with a confident look said, "Just now interrogating Harry Ho probably wasn't useful. I know best the kind of drug addict he is. It's impossible for someone who is not in their right mind to kill members of the serious crime unit. Penny Chu's death is too strange." Their close proximity made Ellen blush, and she asked, "What do you want?" Alex Zhao smiled and said, "Remember when we investigated Philip Liu?" Ellen recalled the amazing performance of Alex Zhao when he questioned Philip Liu. Feeling a bit shaken, Alex Zhao saw the situation and handed over the pizza, saying, "Let's eat something first. Our second collaboration is about to begin." Harry Ho said, "Officer, have I finished or not? I've said everything I need to say. I really can't remember anything." Harry Ho sat in the interrogation room, looking impatient. He became even angrier after seeing Ellen. Harry said, "That B** TCH dared to hit me. Wait for me to go back to the police station and file a complaint against you." After hearing this, Ellen stood up and turned off the camera. She walked up to Harry and asked, "Did the wound come undone again?" Harry shook his head in confusion and said, "No, it didn't." Just as Harry looked up, Ellen threw a punch towards his head. Alex Zhao had already realized that something was wrong, and quickly rushed over to intercept Ellen. Harry Ho was suddenly so frightened that his face turned pale, and he exclaimed in shock, "Are you going to torture me for a confession? I want to speak to a lawyer." Alex Zhao was trying to hold back Ellen while telling Harry Ho to shut up. "Can't you see I'm struggling to hold her back?" Unexpectedly, Harry Ho, who didn't know any better, said, "I know you. You're no good person. You intentionally broke my leg. I will definitely bring this up in court." Upon hearing this, Alex Zhao immediately had Ellen go beat him up. Ellen instantly rushed over. Shortly after, a burst of screams could be heard. Harry Ho, after being beaten, became much more honest. They officially started today's interrogation. Alex said, "Harry Ho, we are here for the truth. If you didn't commit the murder, confess it anyway. Maybe we can help you." Harry Ho said that he took some drugs that night. He is not sure if he committed the murder. Alex Zhao smiled and said, "Do you remember how you were caught by me?" Harry Ho recalled the magical scene of that night. Alex Zhao's nonsense didn't even need a draft. He spoke fluently with ease. "That's right. You were hypnotized by me that night. So you couldn't see people, only cars. Ellen rolled her eyes after hearing this. Harry Ho was a bit confused. He thought to himself, could he really know the truth? Alex Xiao saw him wavering and took out a lie detector test to continue, saying, I will ask you some questions. You just need to answer yes or no. Harry Ho thought that if he had not killed anyone, he might be able to help me. Just agreed to cooperate with Alex and asked, did you kill Penny Chu? Harry said no. The lie detector lit up a green light. Alex thought, indeed, it was not him. Alex asked, do you know who killed Penny Chu? Harry said no. The lie detector lit up a green light. Alex thought to himself, it appears he doesn't even count as an accomplice. He's just being used. Alex Xiao thought to himself, even if he is not aware, the lie detector can still reveal the truth. Alex asked Harry Ho if Penny Chu's death is related to the kidnapping case in M-Town. Harry Ho looked puzzled after hearing this. The lie detector is also activated to remind not to ask questions unrelated to the subject being tested. Alex Xiao thought to himself that it seems like this lie detector also has limitations. In this way, he can't ask anything related to the kidnapping case in M-Town at all. But we can use it to find out who killed Penny Chu. Next, we'll have to make a blind guess. A red light means guessing incorrectly. A green light means guessing correctly. Alex asked if the person who murdered Penny Chu acted alone. Harry said yes. The lie detector lit up with a red light. Alex asked if it was a conspiracy between two people. Harry said yes. The lie detector lit up with a red light. Alex asked about 3 people. The lie detector lit up with a red light. Alex asked about 5 people. The lie detector lit up with a red light. Alex asked if there were more than 10 people involved in plotting against Penny Chu. The green light lit up. More than 10 people actually want to harm her. Why? What did Penny Chu do to make so many people target her? Ellen noticed that he didn't seem right. She asked him if he was okay. I already know the answer. Let's go. Ellen looked puzzled and asked Alex Xiao, what exactly did you ask? Don't beat around the bush. The questions you just asked were very random. Could it be that you didn't ask anything at all? Alex Xiao sneered and said, our goals are different. I am interrogating Harry Ho for the Penny Chu case. I also want to get information about the M-Town kidnapping case from him. But your purpose in coming to the R Bureau, it's not just a simple investigation into Penny Chu's death, right? I think we should be more straightforward with each other. Can you tell me the truth now? Ellen seemed to understand what Alex Xiao meant. She suddenly fell silent.